Hi friends, welcome back to another interesting video. Slimline cards have been in trend since quite a while, so I thought I'll give them a try. Today I have two card ideas to share, so let's get started. For making my slimline cards, I'm using slimline dies from Gina Marie. However, if you do not have these dies, you can still make these cards. I'm using the two largest dies from the set to get started. For the first card, I'll die cut a green and a white panel using these two dies. This fancy scallop border makes the card look so elegant. You can also use border punches for making such patterns on your cards if you don't have dies. Using the diagonal plaid stencil from Craftangles, I'll be creating a beautiful backdrop on my white panel. I'll mask the borders of my panel using a low tack masking tape. Using the lemonade light green ink, I'm inking my background. I'm moving my blending brush in circular motion so that I don't get blotchy patches on my card. Now I'll move my stencil upward to continue the pattern on the remaining panel. Next, to create a focal point on my card, I'm using the Sweet Rose Bouquet from Altenew. This is a layering stamp set and you can create realistic looking roses in a jiffy. So let's get into action. I'm placing a white cardstock in my MISTI stamping tool and I'll stamp the first layer of the leaves and stem. For this, I'm using light green dye ink from Craftangles. Using my heat gun, I'll dry the ink before I stamp the roses. Now, I'm placing the first layer of the roses stamp and using the lighter spring ink, I'll stamp this first layer. Make sure to dry the ink between each layer so that you get every detail of the layered roses. Next, I'm stamping the second layer of the roses with the second darkest pink color. For each layer, use a color darker than the previous one. This roses stamp set has 4 layers to complete the whole bouquet. If you stamp the next layer before the ink dries, the colors will mix into each other and the roses won't come to life. Since I don't have the 4th darkest pink color, I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink to fill the centers of the roses. I did not use the layered stamp for the leaves. Instead, I'm creating the veins on the leaves using my brush pen. I just wanted to show you that you can add fine details to your stamped image in this way too. I'll fussy cut my bouquet, leaving a fine white border along the edges. To fill in the white empty spaces between the stems of the roses, I'm going to align the stencil with the background pattern on the panel. And then very carefully, I'll complete the plaid pattern in those white gaps. I'm making sure that I don't go over the roses while blending. I'll now stamp a birthday sentiment from the Happy stamp set from Craftyscrappers. I'll give some dimension to my focal image using foam tapes. I'll also adhere foam tapes behind my white panel and then mount it on the green one. Next, I'll adhere the green panel on a card base that measures 3.5 by 8.5 inches. To add some interest to the card, I'll also adhere some self-adhesive silver pearls. And this completes our first slimline card. I had also made the same card with a much lighter green background, which looks elegant too. Now let's move on to our second card. Just like our first card, I did some background stenciling using a brick stencil on a dark brown cardstock. For this, I used the Hero Arts Unicorn white pigment ink. I have also cut 3 square windows in this panel. On the white panel, I have stamped and colored some cute critters from the Happy Hippos stamp set from My Favorite Things. Next, using the gingerbread brown ink from Craftyscrappers, I'll distress the edges of my card. This way, my white panel will match the brown brick panel. Let's adhere an acetate sheet behind the windows. For this, I'm sticking double-sided tissue tape. You can use liquid glue if you prefer. To give some dimension, I have adhered double-sided foam tapes behind the windows. Using a brown brush pen, I am coloring the edges of the tape so that it is not visible when the card is held upright. I am doing this for the inner edges as well. You can also fill sequins in each of these windows to make it a shaker card. For now, I prefer to keep it simple. I am stamping 2 birthday sentiments on a scrap white cardstock. These sentiments are from the same Happy Hippo stamp set from My Favorite Things. I am trimming them to the required size and then backing them with foam tape. Now let's assemble a second card. I'm completing the card with some gold heart embellishment. So here's our completed card. Off camera, I made matching envelopes for each of these cards. I used the plaid pattern on the flap of the green envelope, and for the critters card, I stamped a sentiment on the flap of the envelope using white pigment ink. So I hope you found today's card ideas very inspiring. Please do let me know in the comments which of these did you like. Do share your creations with me by tagging me on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Take care and bye for now.